Hello, welcome. My name is Joshua Idehen, and this is Feel Better. And this week we have me, Joshua Idehen. I am going to be the host and the entertainment for tonight. This is a weekly poetry broadcast discussing how best to use failure as a means, a catalyst for moving forward. And we love connecting with our old and our new friends alike, which is why we've got all of these amazing poets and yours truly to entertain you for 15 minutes, followed by a Twitter conversation on Twitter using the hashtag FeelBetterPINC. That's hashtag FeelBetterPINC. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy what you're hearing, and then click the notification bell so you're informed of forthcoming episodes. And sit back, chillax, wash your hands, wash this hand, wash this hands, wash these hands together. Pick up your favorite kitchen utensil, enjoy some poetry. Hello, my name is Joshua. I am the host for this evening, and I'm going to be doing some poetry for you while you have your dinner. I'm hoping you're having your dinner at 7 o'clock, otherwise, it's going to be really awkward. It's not going to be awkward, it's just poetry. So I'll just get straight into it. This is first poem I'm performing is a poem about London. It's a poem about my love-hate relationship with London over the course of 2 decades. Pretty much I hate right now. Pretty much I hate. It's not like I got anywhere else to go. It's not like I can go anywhere. Everywhere is a lockdown. And it's just about that feeling of constantly grinding the whole cycle of knockbacks and get ups, which I think is just a daily occurrence within London, especially if you're creative, especially if you're trying to do anything involving a career. I think life is generally just about getting up. It's all about getting up, whether it's from your bed or it's from every single failure that you go through in life, from the minor ones at the bus stop or the trains or the guy who cut you off at the queue and your boss or whatever. The only time you don't get up is when you're dead, unless you believe in God, in which case you go to heaven. It's the final get up. I wrote this piece about that when I was feeling moody, and I'm going to perform this piece and have a bit of a conversation about failure in my life and how I've handled it and how I've dealt with it. And then I'm going to do another piece. So, yeah, jazz, innit? Okay, cool. Let's start with it. It goes like this. It's obvious you don't get on with this metropolis. The big smoke's a big joke and you're at the butt of it. Not like before when you were sure you'd fall in love with it eventually. Pity, because the city hates the optimist. You had that summer fling, yeah, you had that summer thing. Now you feel the whistling, the winter tightening the fist. The night is tick like octopus ink. And more friends and more cash will keep your mind out the pits, but you're skint. Stuck in that separate zone. City wears its loneliness like a nasty cologne. And you're the only working clock amongst a flock of metronomes. You're that only working clock. And recently it's like the city's falling out with you. The sky's frowning like the city wants to battle you. You light a candle, but the city throws the dark at you. You carry on though. Try not to stumble, no. You're not a part of this city, it's not a part of you. You've been living here for years, it's like you're passing through. You're not a part of this city, it's not a part of you. You're lost here, lost in this capital. Lost in the city, nah, this city is lost to you. So many voices here, so few are audible, so scream as much you like. You be silenced by the sights, you be drowning in them limelights, drowning in them pints. There's no need to be yourself, be anyone you like. You can be the city's champion. It's a bit of fun, it's nighttime owl, it's daytime admin, star of the now has been by the morning, city of those short winds, of those false grins. Many birds with ambition walk around with clipped wings. Not everyone who grinds in the city gets to shine. Very many turn blurred and many turn blunt. Many aim for the stars, get stuck in the gutter. You have got to be acidic to survive the city's guts. Shouldn't you leave the city since you hate it this much? No, you can't leave now. I can't leave now. It's promised me so much. It has me by the heart and it has me by the crutch. The prize is so close, I can almost touch. I'm gonna make it here. You can hang around and watch. I'll be dazzling in its limelights. I'll be brilliant in its sights. I'll be a part of the city, part of it true and true. I've seen its ugliest faces and soon I will see it new. And that's that. So I wrote that piece a long time ago. And now's the part for the conversation. Basically, when I just started out, right, I was a part of a band, and I'm still a part of right now. It's called Benin City. And there was another guy called John Cotto who played bass. Bless him, he's living in Spain now. He's on lockdown. Just send him all the well wishes you can. And he said to me, the difference between me and him is he rehearsed in private, but I rehearsed in public. And what he meant by that was that I had spent my entire life, right, performing in public and using that as a way of editing and crafting my work. And how did I do that? Via social media. See, I grew up with social media, and whereas Johnny was like a complete Luddite, didn't care for it, I jumped on every platform and every new tech, every new software as a means to share my work, which ultimately meant I shared terrible pieces, like all of the worst stuff. I used to, blah, just oh, it's new, it's fanciful. Live journal, yes. MySpace, yes. I was posting up on MySpace all the time, like no decorum whatsoever, just constantly sharing stuff. And what that meant was that people have, if you really wanted to dig in, you can see, for example, my band Benin, you can see every terrible iteration of it, right? To now where it's not so terrible. There's a song we've got called This Is London. You can hear a version of it when I was part of another band called Poet in the City, and then hear the new version with no, it's not Poet in City, sorry, it was called Poem Between People. And then you hear a new version of it called Benin City. And it's all out there. Like, all of my drafts are out there. All the versions of me, all the evolutions of myself. And I'm actually quite like, I'm all the phobes. I'm hydrophobic. It turns out I don't like being in isolation, which I am right now because I was in contact with someone who was in contact with someone with coronavirus. So I'm here in a room. I really, really hate embarrassment. I was heavily bullied when I was younger. And so the very idea of embarrassment just terrifies me. But then on the flip side, like, I'm extremely needy and I want attention. And sometimes I can only just perform all I have. And that usually is a half draft. I'll give you an example, right? Just going on my computer right now. I'm not watching this on my. There we go. I used to use YouTube and not YouTube, sorry, Facebook Notes. I used to use Facebook Notes a lot, and that piece, for example, I posted various versions of it on Facebook, and it was available to everyone. And people who used to critique it, would give me feedback as to oh, it's terrible, oh, it's great, oh, and it was through those versions, constant iteration. I think I wrote 5 versions of this particular poem to get it to where it was now. And I'll show you an example of that. This is a piece that was posted up 6th of October 2009. This is the very first version of Lost in City, and this is the first time I'm performing it live. You can rewind back to see the difference between the first and the second, so I can compare and contrast. Anyway, here's how it goes. You're not a part of this city, it's not a part of you. A separate particle. It's like you're passing through. You try and smile at the city, it twists its mouth at you. Falling with no parachute, lost in the capital, land of the crooked and narrow where the shadows are long. City so thirsty for blood it sacrifices its young. The sky is frowning over you like you're doing it wrong. You're not its favorite son. You never listen. You are pissing in the river of passion. Of course it's kissing its teeth. 'Cause this is the heart of the action. You should be kissing her feet. All things are possible, possibly, probably, could be you. Looking through the window of opportunity, the city grins a nasty grin. It's got no muzzle on, it's cobblestones, conniving, hoping you stumble over. There are so many, many corners here, could lead to trouble, yeah. The corners here are cunning, could easily lose your marbles here. You could easily lose your marbles, easy, easy. Lost in the city you are, and it is lost to you. So many voices here, so few are audible, so scream as much you like. You'll be blinded by the white lights, blinded by the sights, you'll be blinded by the tides, you'll be dazzled by the night lights, drowning in them pints. There's no need to be yourself, be anyone you like. You can be the city's champion, it's a bit of fun, it's nighttime owl. By day you're the admin, star of the now has been by the morning. City of those false grins, of those short winds, many diverse rhythms, where you gonna fit in. Many birds with ambition walk around with clipped wings. Not everyone who grinds in the city gets to shine. Very many turn blood and many turn blunt. Many aim for the stars, get stuck in the glut. You have got to be the acid to survive the city's guts. Shouldn't you leave the city since you hate it this much? But I can't leave now. It's promised me so much. The prize is so close, I can almost touch. I'm gonna make it here. You can stay here and watch. It's stolen my heart. It's got me by the crutch. I've been blinded by the white lights, blinded by the sights. I've been dazzled by the night lights, and I'm drowning in the pints. Now, yeah, first time I read it, wow, like even back then, I was a genius, you know. But there were a couple of lines I read that I was like, maybe I shouldn't have cut that out. But I think with the first version, you can see that it's quite heavy on the metaphor. It's extremely heavy on the metaphor. I mean, the second version is no, I use a lot of metaphor because I like imagery. But I think in the first version, there's not a lot to kind of hold on to. But besides that, before I just self-criticizing, I did get a lot of feedback because I had used as a basis the streets, blinded by the lights and weak become heroes, and that was quite obvious to a lot of my friends, and they spoke to me about that, and they told me maybe I can tone that down, which is what I used to revise it a bit. And they did also mention the metaphors, and it was just in that kind of essentially failing in public, which is kind of what a first draft is, that I think that it led to this new version that I performed to you at the beginning that ended up on the LV album, that also ended up becoming the beginning of my music career, actually. So I guess what I'm saying is that, like, I guess, well, everybody else is going to be saying, failure is the path, man. Some people fail in private, and I've just happened to fail in public. I've just been kind of embraced that jester clown side of myself and just kind of like, done the foolish thing in the hopes that, like, not a lot of people are going to see it when it's terrible, so that when I do it amazingly, I would have overcome that fear. I'm about to do another music project, which is going to be a solo performance just by myself. And I was going to go and do it all the way in Bulgaria. So, because I thought, yeah, even if I fuck up, it's Bulgaria. Who's going to watch it there? Apart from Bulgarians who, they're not London, really. I mean, they're lovely, but they're not London. Yeah, so I've got 4 minutes. I'm going to perform another piece, which is a poem that I've never read before. And it's about being a writer, and it's called Find Your Writer's Voice. It goes like this. Find your writer's voice. You know where to find it. Tip. Look in the mouths of other writers, preferably dead writers. If you're a rapper, look in the mouth of Jay-Z. Ask your writer's voice out to dinner. Don't worry, your writer's voice will say yes. Of course it will say yes. You're the one paying, even if you don't know it yet. Things to feed your writer's voice. Stories to make the world right. All the things you want to tell your exes. One-line jokes you make a whole page length. Poems about being a writer. Poems you never used. Words you've never used in a conversation with another living being. And don't count your dog Casper, because you know I'm talking about people. Poems to please other people, while other writers are pitiful. Ugly lies to make you look beautiful. Beautiful lies to make you look beautiful. Ugly lies to make you look ugly, because ugly is a kind of beautiful. Take your writer's voice on a night out to a poetry cafe and get pissed on applause, get gigs, get a lot of gigs, get a lot of recognition, a lot of people saying you look just like insert writer's voice, former owners here, but definitely a bit more affordable. Like made in Nigeria. You and your little writer's voice, that's definitely your writer's voice, the same way a cover is a singer's song just because the cover sung it enough times, the same way Valerie is an Amy Winehouse song. Two of you go home and make babies. Make baskets of babies. Make love to your writer's voice underneath an ignorant night. You two suck each other off until the sun becomes a metaphor for your very inner bright soul. And your soul is the sky, and the sky is the body. And you feel so cold and blue, but some other day you feel great and old. And isn't that the way life goes? And look how many comments you get on Facebook. Geez, have a happy time with your writer's voice, because you're stupid. You'd be stupid to let go of something that works, brings in money, brings in friends. Have fun with your writer's voice because you're young, or maybe you're not so young anymore. You're just very stupid, and there's no shame in that. I mean, life belongs to stupid. Ask Adam. I bet he wanted those skills back over his eyes. Anyway, go live. Have fun with your scruffy little laptop and your tiny beard and your Oxfam clothes and your over-scribbled moleskin and your boho mates. Take the needle off the record, put it in your vein. See the world through the mouth of your writer's voice, and when you write, let your word strike its bell. And when you're wet and sticky in the morning, take your writer's voice outside, out back, and when it's not looking, go ahead and stab it in the neck with your pen till it dies. Now go home and write like yourself. And that's just me talking about writer's voice. Basically, I was going through a time where I was not really sure about where I stood, not sure about my voice, still not sure about my voice because it's a process. And also I had that angst with other writers because I am eternally jealous and envious about everyone around me. And that's me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope your hands are clean. I hope you're keeping a respectable distance from the people you love and care about. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. There's a whole bunch of other videos you can watch. And yeah, see you soon somewhere, hopefully in person someday in the future. And that was that. Now head over to Twitter to carry on the conversation using the hashtag FailBetterPINC. Drop us a line about how failure has helped your lives in positive and negatives and general ways. Head over to our Patreon if you like what we're doing. Become a subscriber and support us. Support poetry in the city. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to be informed about forthcoming episodes.